Episode 12 coming to you from Creative Zombie Studios, the Indiana on Tap podcast. What's up, Sarah?
What's up?
Sarah, what's the best beer you drank this past week?
It had to be the Bricks.
Yeah?
From Flat 12.
Did you take that to the track?
I did.
Nice.
I only took 2 though, and then I shared one with somebody else. It was a hard moment for me, but I like this person. They're my friend, so I gave one.
Okay, well, at least you're sharing it with a friend.
Yeah.
I think the best beer I had this week, I actually have 2. Can I cheat today? Is that okay? I mean, I'm the host, so I can literally do whatever I want. Yeah.
Literally.
This is intense.
No. But I did I did a little self-help night the other night, made myself a nice dinner, and sat down and cracked a bottle of I think I'm pronouncing it right, Spontan Orange, which is an orange Gosa from McKellar.
I saw a picture of that on Facebook.
Oh my God, it was one of the most beautiful beers
Yes.
I've ever drank in my life. Yeah, like I will replace like table wine with that beer.
Really?
At dinners from now on. It was
Nice.
gorgeous beer.
Where did you find that?
They have it at cons.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about $9.99 a bottle, I
Okay.
think, and they have 3 other versions of the Spontan series.
Nice.
Yeah, well worth it.
All right.
Well worth it. And then at Kuma's for dinner on Sunday, I had a Scarlet Lane Laughing Water, which is their like Australian sparkling ale lager.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Wow.
delicious, perfect for just like a warm summer evening.
Man, they had that. They were sampling that at Keg and Bottle the other day when we were doing
really
our sneak
good.
peek. And I didn't try it because I didn't think I would like
No,
it.
it's
but now
really
I'm very
good.
disappointed.
Yeah, and if you go back to IndianaOnTap.com, Rick Burkhart did a big write-up on it a few weeks ago, which led me to try it at Next Top Model because they brought it with them there.
Okay.
So well worth it if you see it out. Yeah, they have bombers of it wherever they distribute.
Great.
Which I've also found Scarlet Lane's bombers are some of the best for home brewing because of the glue that they use for their labels. After you soak it in hot water, it just peels right off.
Nice.
Saves you so much time. So
Yeah.
thanks again, Scarlet Lane.
That adhesive for labels is like super tricky
Oh, it's
to
a
get
pain
off.
in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
I found
terrible.
that Scarlet Lane, 18th Street, and Dogfish Head so far are the best. If you're
Okay.
home brewing out there, if you're getting into bottling,
Make
those
a
are the
mental
best.
note of that.
Yeah. So we're coming to you from Creative Zombie Studios. That third voice you hear is that of Darla Couch, who joins us from the city of Anderson today to talk a little bit about Anderson on Tap, which we're very excited about. Sarah, it's been your baby for these past few months.
Yes.
So it's sort of nearing its end, coming to fruition. I know you're getting excited about it. Darla, I know you're pretty pumped about it.
I am pumped.
Yeah. So real quick, Darla, what do you do for the city of Anderson? What's your role?
Well, I am the webmaster and also the director of Anderson TV. So
Okay.
That's what I do.
Okay. So what does that all entail? What's Anderson TV?
Anderson TV is Anderson's public access channel, and so we're on Comcast and AT&T.
Okay.
And we highlight the very best of everything that Anderson has to offer. So this is definitely a big highlight for us. We love the Anderson on Tap, and it's going to be great, and we're super excited about it. So
Well, we're glad you guys are excited.
Yeah. So why a festival in Anderson? Like, what's the big draw to the city there? You currently don't have a craft brewery there, but I've heard that the people in Anderson are some of the most feverish people when it comes to craft beer.
That's exactly right. We do have a great audience for craft beer. And Anderson is an up-and-coming, kind of enjoying a renaissance of sorts. And so there's so many creative, wonderful people there. And one of the things that they enjoy is certainly their craft beer. So we have attempted to do a beer fest the last couple of years and are really looking forward to Indiana on Tap and all the work that Sarah's done and bringing it there.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what about the city of Anderson? What's special about it? What's going on right now that makes it, the perfect environment for a large craft beer festival, as well as anybody who's looking to open up a brewery? Why Anderson?
Sure. Well, we have some incredible people and just really great creative minds there who are doing some really neat things. And like I said, we are just going through a rebirth of sorts. As you may know, we lost many manufacturing jobs several years ago, and we are just now starting to pick up some momentum and get back into it. And we've We've got new manufacturers coming to town left and right, and it's a very exciting time. So lots of new jobs for folks, and we're ready to party and celebrate that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's been awesome for me about helping to plan this festival is the reason behind it. You know, trying to show craft breweries what Anderson is like, that there are people there that do love craft beer, just kind of incentivizing them to consider Anderson as a home for their next project or even to open. So there's something called the Municipal Riverfront Development Project that you guys are offering people that want to come in. So I know that there's a lot of perks to people that want to come in and try and build down along the riverfront, like discounted liquor licenses, things like that.
Yeah.
So,
and we really do encourage folks. Economic development is working hard to get folks into Anderson, and we have lots of great incentives. We're an extremely supportive community. If you're a new business, we will support you and rally behind you. We love entrepreneurs. We've got amazing buildings in downtown along that river corridor that you were talking about, and there's great opportunity there.
okay.
Yeah, Anderson is not the only city in Indiana that's sort of decided to revitalize their riverfront districts either. You've seen it in the South Bend and Mishawaka area. Fort Wayne about a year ago announced plans to do something similar down along their riverfront district, and you're seeing that it's paying off gangbusters for these towns, not just for local businesses, but if you go to South Bend or even Fort Wayne now, the craft brewery scene is really starting to blow up there.
That's right, and we want to see that in Anderson.
Right.
We are so excited. We're ready to go. We just need a brewery. So
Sarah, a little bit about the festival. What's it like? What's it been like working with the city of Anderson, working with getting people to be excited about this festival? Has it been easy or hard? Because there's already been a history of the festival in past years.
Yeah, I mean, the city has been amazing to work with. They've just been very supportive, and because it happened years past, they've provided us a lot of direction on how it had been set up years past, so that, kind of gives us a head start in planning and preparations. I know breweries have been very excited to get up there. Years past, they really enjoyed the festival. They were disappointed that, it wasn't going to be going on anymore until we picked it up, just because they loved the small town feel of it.
Right.
And so they've all been very excited. We've gotten a lot of really great feedback from people in the community as well. Keg and Bottle is the presenting sponsor. They've been super supportive as well, and very excited to see the festival come back and get some breweries up there to possibly expand.
So what kind of breweries are we looking at that's going to be there? You got about 25 or 30, you think, so far?
Probably about 25,
Okay.
I would say. We've got Books and Brews coming. They're obviously Jason, the head, the manager or owner, the owner over there. He's going to be actually playing with the Ukulelers.
Oh, great.
You're gonna love them. You're coming, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Are you kidding?
No, they're coming,
They're
and
great.
they are so much fun. So they played 90s hip hop and R&B on the ukulele, and he has a backup band.
That's so
and
great.
He gets so into it. I mean, they're a lot of fun.
They've played multiple times at Indiana on Tap's semi-monthly tasting society events, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, they're great.
They're perfect music
Wonderful.
for a festival craft beer setting.
Yeah, so Books and Brews will be there. Deviate Brewing, we're really excited about. They do a lot of small batch stuff.
Yeah, Deviate Brewing, if you remember, last year in Craft Beer Magazine was one of the 33 best new breweries in the country.
Yeah.
So to have them there, have their presence there, and their beer is a big get.
We've got Summit City from Fort Wayne coming, which I'm really excited about. They always have like 20 of their own beers on tap and then 20 guest taps. So I know that they'll bring an awesome selection of just their beer because they have quite a bit that they make. And Hoosier Brewing Company. But if you go to AndersonOnTap.com, you can see all the breweries listed on that page. So we are very excited. I can't wait for it to get here.
I think before we go even further, we should probably say what date the festival is?
Oh, yeah.
It's nice that we've gotten this far without mentioning that.
It's June 4th.
June 4th, Saturday, June 4th.
VIP entry is at 1 o'clock, and then general admission is at 2 o'clock.
Okay,
So
and what are general admission tickets? What are the prices on that?
general admission is $35,
Okay.
and VIP is $55.
Okay, and what's the difference? People always look at the difference to figure out what's the best value for their buck.
Well, so the difference is that with the VIP entry, you get in an hour early to the event, so you don't have to wait in line as much as you would with general admission. You also get access to the Paramount Theater for indoor bathrooms, and ladies, that's worth the 20 extra bucks.
Oh, I'm telling you right
indoor
there. That's
fellas
why I'm,
appreciate
buying
indoor
VIP.
restrooms too. Trust me.
whatever.
All
Trust
right.
me.
Not like women do.
Yeah.
I know. We appreciate them so much, especially at festivals like this towards the end of the day. You're like,
Oh yeah.
no, thank you. So then you also get, there's a lounge area inside the Paramount for VIPs, and they also get access to VIP beer. That's not going to be available to everybody else. And Bottoms Up, which is our sponsor, is going to be there dispensing beer from the Bottoms Up system in the VIP area.
Very cool.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. If you're wondering, today we are drinking some Hinchtown Hammer Down Pilsner from Flat 12 Beer Works. So thanks for the beer. It's obviously very fitting. We're recording this on Monday
right.
afternoon, the day after the final day of qualifications
Wear
for
my
the Indy
shirt.
500, where James Hinchcliffe, I'm going to call him friend of the program. We've
Yes.
talked about him enough. Friend of the
Yes.
program, James
We're
Hinchcliffe.
friends.
He doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that, yeah. But he qualified for the pole for the 100th running of the race this
Yeah,
coming weekend.
and
So.
amazing story. Do you know much about him?
I don't.
So last year during practice for the Indy 500, he crashed in turn 3 and almost lost his life due to the accident. He had lost about 22 pints of blood, and
Wow.
so he to
22.
come back this
come back
year
a year later.
And sit on the
and
pole.
be the pole winner
Yeah,
is like
it
just
was-
incredible.
It was a great scene. Obviously the people at Flat 12, through their partnership with him, they're thrilled. It was great to see such a great story with James Hinchcliffe winning the pole. It was great to see Sam Schmidt, having something to celebrate again.
Yeah, and they
Right.
actually had him go out on the course yesterday
Yeah.
and drive a car. He's paralyzed from the neck down, so he drove a car about over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, I think they
just
said about
using-
150 on the broadcast.
Just
Yeah.
using his mouth to blow air and then 3D goggles to steer it around the track.
Unbelievable.
That's ballsy.
That's amazing.
Yes,
That is
it is.
amazing. Yeah.
But
Completely
he
is.
had a great day yesterday.
Yeah. So it was great to see, a good guy win something for once.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Unlike on Game of Thrones, Brad. So
Well, I'm a big Connor Daly fan, so
Oh,
I'm
nice.
super excited that he qualified and he's in there. He's at 17th, but you know what? You only need to get in the race to be able to win it.
exactly.
So
People come from
Anything
the back
can
all the
happen.
time.
Yeah.
Anything can happen once the
I'm
green flag
super
goes down.
excited
So,
for him.
So let's talk a little bit about the use of the Paramount Theater.
Yeah,
sure.
It's been a focal point of the downtown Anderson area for so long.
It really has.
So obviously, working it into the festival was a pretty easy decision, right?
Right. Absolutely. I mean, it is right there. You walk out the door and you're in the middle of the festival. So it just absolutely made total sense to utilize that space.
Yeah, and we're excited to have the Brewers Lounge in there, and there's actually we have a sponsor for the Brewers Lounge this year, so
Nice.
there's going to be food and beer from another Indiana brewery that's not going to be there provided to the brewers. They're called One Way Kegs, so it's a very environmentally friendly, low hassle keg program, and
Yeah.
so they're going to be pouring from their kegs. And so we'll have the Brewers Lounge in there. We'll have the VIP Lounge in there. There'll be concessions for the general admission people to come in and get concessions. And then after the festival, there's a concert, and there Stephen Kellogg is going to be playing. And Adam, seriously, have you ever been into the Paramount?
No, I haven't.
It is beautiful.
Yeah. You're gonna wanna go in.
I've seen tons of photos, and it reminds me a lot of the traditional family theaters that exist in a lot of Indiana small towns. The Buskirk Chumley in downtown Bloomington is great. So it just reminded me a lot of that.
They have stars in the ceiling that
That's
they light
cool.
up.
It's phenomenal.
That's really
so
cool.
pretty.
Yeah, and I know it was modeled. The interior of it was modeled. I remember.
After a Spanish
Yeah.
theater, yeah. But it's really pretty. It's 90 years old.
Yeah.
It's pretty old, and I mean, it looks great on the inside. You wouldn't
I
be able
was
to tell.
I was at the Murat the other day, and I was looking around. I'm like, this is gorgeous, but it almost didn't compete with
Yeah.
Anderson's Paramount Theater.
I took my breath away when I went, and I've been
It
into
is
a lot
phenomenal.
of I've been into a lot of theaters before, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and it's kind of the crown jewel of Anderson. We're really, really proud of our theater.
Cool. And so the festival is going to be taking place in what's called the Dickman Town Center.
Yes.
And from what I've heard about the festival, you received great feedback on being able to feature just that beautiful part
Right.
of the center of Anderson as well, right?
Yes, and it is. It's a great park right down, like you said, in the middle of Anderson, and it has a phenomenal stage. So we're really excited for all of the happenings, and it has, you're talking about restrooms. It has some restrooms behind the stage, but you're really probably going to want that VIP ticket.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's worth it for sure.
It is.
But one thing I've heard about festivals past, and I wasn't able to make it up to the other two, in years prior, but everyone that had gone, I know had said that, Adam from Dump Buckets, he had mentioned how awesome it was because, what's his name, Justin?
Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin McIntosh.
Yeah, Justin.
Yeah.
So he said it was awesome because it wasn't really crowded. It was like there was enough room to just kind of spread out. You didn't feel like at like some festivals that
Yeah.
you're all like cramped up. It was just well laid out. And
Yeah, and right in front of the stage, we have grassy areas that you can take a blanket and just hang out and relax and enjoy. And then in the back, there's different areas of the park. But right there in front of the stage is just a great place to really relax and enjoy the concert.
Yeah,
So.
very cool. Let's talk a little bit about the concert. You're going to be having Stephen Kellogg and the Southwest Northeast will be performing.
That's right.
How did that relationship come about?
Well, the Paramount took care of booking him and getting all of that in there, but he's also bringing his guest, Welshly Arms, so that's exciting too. So the Paramount took it upon themselves to book these great bands, and they're going to be there, and the show starts at 6, so
Okay.
right after the festival. The doors open at 5. You can come in, grab a snack, take a restroom break, and get in there and
Get set,
get
time to
ready.
get settled. Yeah.
And I think that the Paramount serves beer, so you'll still
they
be
do,
able to
yeah.
get beer and stuff at the at the concert.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I hadn't heard of him before, and I listened to him, and he's good.
Yeah.
And
As soon as it was announced, I went to Spotify to check out some of his stuff.
Yeah.
How would you describe his music? Like,
he's kind of folk.
yeah,
He
folk,
is
yeah,
like
yeah,
ski,
yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean,
American
Exactly.
folk, yeah.
He's opened up for OAR
Yeah.
and Train.
Yeah,
and
his newest album, which is called Southwest Northeast, right? It's I listened to some of the tracks, and it's cool because it's kind of broken up in sections, with each section corresponding to part of the title. And so the section in South, has a different sound versus the section in
Right.
the West. Yeah, so he really has this ability to move through different versions of the same genre.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's
He's
going to be
phenomenal.
a great concert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're going to want to be there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it says CBS Radio called him the best live act you've never seen, and No Depression magazine gave him the title of the best songwriter you're not listening to. So,
Yeah.
No Depression magazine. Sounds like an upbeat publishing.
know.
Yeah.
But definitely need to check out that magazine.
Very cool. Very
Interesting.
cool.
But yeah.
Yeah. So Darla. So we've talked about the Riverfront Development Project, bringing this festival to Anderson. The desire to bring a brewery to Anderson is something that a lot of similar towns throughout Indiana are going through right now. Sir, you live in Brownsburg, and yeah, there's a big push right now for people to, people there want a brewery to come to Brownsburg.
Yeah.
Our own Charlie Sass did a story on it a while back and got a great response to it.
I would love for them to come to
The city after the Whitestown Beer Fest last year, people from the town of Whitestown and the city of Zionsville have been begging for one, which you've now seen Noble Order open a second location there, and Books and Brews, break ground on a new one.
I mean, look what Daredevil did for Speedway downtown. I mean,
Exactly.
it's
They've
like,
kind of been the linchpin of the
Yeah.
redevelopment of Main Street Speedway. So what's one thing, or a multitude of things, you could go on forever if you'd like, that you would tell a brewery or interested brewery owners or people looking for a location? What's the one thing you could tell them about Anderson?
Well, Anderson has so much to offer, and I guess if I were to say, what would get a brewer to Anderson, is just that people are ready. We're waiting. We're hoping. we're trying to put this next cog in the wheel of our comeback.
Yeah.
And we know that this will help us with that comeback. And Anderson has great things to offer. You've got Hoosier Park, which draws in a lot of people. You look at our hotel rooms, and they're building new hotels in Anderson all the time because hotels are always sold out.
Right.
So we've got your audience is there.
Yeah.
And culturally, we're making a comeback as well. We talked about economically how we're making a comeback, but we're in the middle of a creative revolution as well. So,
Now I read about can you tell me a little bit about the Florentine Arts District in town?
well, we have these. Because of Anderson University, we have some very creative folks there, and artists have done different projects throughout the city, and that are just phenomenal. In Dickman Town Center, we have this beautiful statue that's a fountain of three ballet dancers right in front of the Paramount, and it's so beautiful. And so all of that is occurring as well right in the middle of the economic development.
Yeah.
So
Well, how exciting to be kind of witnessing
It
the
is.
renaissance, as you say, of Anderson, and
It really
watching
is.
it grow and come back from.
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Anderson, and when GM left, it was a huge hit, both economically, but also emotionally. It was very strange.
Right.
The town kind of went into this low-grade depression that we are just now starting to push ourselves out
Well,
of.
think about how many families based their lives and the roots that they planted
Absolutely.
in Anderson
For
around
generations.
that. Yeah.
Absolutely, for generations. So we really are just our goal at the city of Anderson, one of our main goals, and certainly with where I work, Anderson TV, is just to put in front of people the incredible parts of Anderson. And,
Right.
and our high school is incredible. Our school system's great. And we have wonderful things happening throughout. We have incredible arts. We have incredible ballet studios, and all kinds of things. So
Well, it's great to see a small town reinvest in that
Yes.
aspect, in the arts and the creative culture, because that helps generate a lot of young and youthful energy around the town
Certainly.
as well. Yeah,
Certainly.
and that's a big part of the craft beer scene right now. Yeah.
it certainly is, and that is very important to us. And we spend a lot of time trying to get the younger generation interested in Anderson. And
Right.
why they love it so much right now is because property is so cheap in
Right.
Anderson. You can get a great house in a wonderful area at a fraction of the price.
Right. And Anderson's easy to get to as
is?
well. Yeah. Yeah. From Indianapolis or Fort Wayne, you're right there off I-69. Yeah.
And you're just, to get to Indianapolis, you are less than an hour to get anywhere in Indy.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
a great location. You don't have the traffic of the commutes, and it's phenomenal.
So if a brewery was wanting to open up there or start a tap room, what would be the first step? Do you think there's anybody from the city do you know anybody from the city that would be a good contact for
Sure,
them?
absolutely. And they'd want to talk to economic development because, like I mentioned earlier, we are all about getting them there. And so
Yeah.
we want to help however we're able to do so. So they would want to contact Greg Winkler with the city of Anderson.
And Greg wrote a great letter
He did,
that we
yes.
posted on our site, just kind of reaching out to the breweries to tell them, we want you to come. This is what we're willing to do, and this is why you should come here. And so you can check that out on our website, indianaontap.com. And yeah.
One thing I did want to kind of go back and mention is that if folks are interested in the concert at the Paramount, they need to just go to andersonparamount.org and grab those tickets there.
Okay. Great.
Is the concert family friendly as well?
It is.
Awesome.
It is.
That's a big
So-
draw.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's
Didn't
a great
think about
idea.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so families, you'll be able to get in after the festival's
You
closed down
will.
at 6. So
Yes. You'll be able to do that.
Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, if you're looking for tickets for Anderson on Tap, that's andersonontap.com. The tickets you'll find at the top right corner. $35 for general admission, $55 for the VIP. Personal recommendation, I think, for this festival, you will want to get the VIP. Just from having indoor bathrooms to even special beers available only to yourself that nobody else at the festival will be able to have. I think it's definitely worth the extra few dollars for your festival pleasure.
I think so as well.
Now that brings up an interesting point, and Darla, you can feel free to chime into this as well.
Sure.
We've seen sort of this influx of craft beer festivals in the past 2 years. There's so many, to the point where people really have to start being
choosy almost.
They have to be choosy. Yeah, they have to be conscious about how they're going to spend their dollars. And you can chime into it with helping build this festival in Anderson. Like, what are some of the factors that you make when it comes to deciding what festival to attend?
Well, I always look at the breweries that are going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Are there interesting ones that I haven't tried before, ones that are hard for me to get to? Also, if it's benefiting a good cause, Anderson on Tap is benefiting the Madison County Humane Society.
Oh, awesome.
So that's really great. So if it's benefiting a good cause, that's always something I look at, as well as ticket prices too. Is it worth the money that I'm going to spend? And so those are some of the factors that I look at.
Yeah. So in helping build Anderson on Tap, how have you taken those, factors into account? What led you to add, the Paramount Theater, the downtown setting, the concert?
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say. I'm a big setting person. Where am I? What's it going to look like? And this setting is very unique. Of course, the Paramount, of course, the incredible park that you're not going to want to miss, and just the atmosphere. And I think some of our creative vendors that are going to be there, you're not going to want to miss that either. We've got some artists.
Yeah, there's going to be Artist Alley.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, give me some info on that, please.
Well,
hello.
Yeah.
we have an awesome girl that we're working with to coordinate that. Her name is Sonia, and she there's been just a lot of artists, like you said, there are some like young creative minds there, and that kind of want to get their work out there, and so there's going to be several artists. I know one lady is going to crochet little koozies for the tasting glasses. So I'm very excited about that because I've seen them everywhere and I've never been able to get my hands on one. So I'm definitely going to be buying one of those. Those
very
are
cool.
Key.
Yeah.
So
there's leather workers, paintings.
Oh, cool.
So there's just just a plethora of different.
Yeah. That's
choices.
Awesome. That's one of my favorite draws to what has become my favorite festival throughout the year, which is Nabru. Which is down in Gnawbone, Indiana.
Yes, love it down there.
Yeah, at Explore Brown County, and it's cool because it's this craft beer festival with live music throughout the day, just in the middle of the woods.
It's like a Woodstock.
It's like a little mini Woodstock in the middle of South Central Indiana. But what's cool is as you're walking into the festival, they have all of these local artists and craftsmen and people selling things that they've made on the walk in. All these people from the Brown County area. And it's definitely, it adds so much to a day of, much more than just being a day about beer.
Sure.
Yeah, and it's a good way to get the community involved and get people interested in it beyond the beer.
It's like a cultural experience more
Yes.
so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to have Artist Alley there so that it's not just come drink beer. It's like come and see the people that live here and like, how creative they are and what they have to offer.
Right.
So.
And I think it adds to just the title of the festival. When you say, it's a craft beer festival, it's like, there's a billion of those. But if you say it's a craft beer festival with local artists and music, it adds so much more that it would draw people more towards spending their money on your festival versus another.
Going somewhere else. Well, and I have to say too that part of what makes Anderson so cool and this festival so cool is the people. I know I keep saying that, but there is something really unique about the people of Anderson. They are very warm, very inviting. This weekend I was in a big box store in Indianapolis, and I asked a question about where I could find something, and they just pointed. But I thought, That's so weird because if this had been Anderson, they would have literally taken me straight there and said, okay, what do you need help with in this particular area? And so we just have this really unique feel. And when you go to this, you'll know that, and you'll be able to see that clearly. And last year, one of my favorite parts of the whole thing was just spending time with your friends, meeting new people that were coming in, and then meeting the different brewers. And we just had a blast. They
Absolutely.
are good people.
Yeah.
And just, it was so much fun just learning about the different brews, the breweries, and the folks. And I loved it.
Yeah.
I just absolutely loved it. I can't wait.
Well, I know Indiana on Tap is really, really, really excited about partnering with the city of Anderson to keep this festival going. Saturday, June 4th. We're definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hoping that we've definitely sold you on the festival today because it's going to be a great time.
Oh, it will
Yeah,
be.
one of the things you just mentioned
I
too.
guarantee it.
That I could hammer on for hours on end is the setting. You're not going to find a festival with a better setting than Anderson on Tap this year. Yeah, downtown Anderson is a special place.
It really is.
Yeah. All right, so that about wraps it up for our talk with Anderson on Tap. Sarah, real quick, you want to run through some upcoming events coming up? Sure. She's already closed her computer. No, it's fine. Don't open it. I've got it all pulled up right here.
Awesome. Okay.
So,
There's so many.
Never mind then.
So yeah, there are so many. It is. We like to call this, festival season.
Yes.
From about April until October. It's
Yeah.
just nonstop. So some things we got coming up on the calendar on Saturday, May 28th. So if you're listening to it at the end of this week, that may be tomorrow or 2 days from now, is Indiana City Beer's third anniversary party.
Is it really that long?
Yeah. 3 years. I know.
crazy.
They're going to be going from 2 to 10, party down at the brewery on Shelby Street, just off Washington. I know they've got tons of different beers they're going to be tapping throughout the day. I think they're going to have food. Yeah. So if
Cool.
you've never been to Indiana City Brewing Company, it's one of the most beautiful facilities I've been to.
It's neat.
I might need to check that out.
It used to be the bottling plant for, I think, what was called Home Brewing Company, which was one of the state's biggest breweries before Prohibition.
No kidding.
Yeah,
How awesome is that?
and so if you don't know about Prohibition in Indiana, it's a shady history because Indiana was so conservative at that point that they decided to shut down the breweries like a year and a half, 2 years before Prohibition
Right.
was enacted.
Right,
And so,
I knew that.
So that building sat dormant for a long time and has sort of been revitalized by Ray Kamstra and his team over there. So it's definitely a place you want to see, especially Saturday, May 28th.
And speaking of, sorry to cut you off, but speaking of the arts and breweries, I mean, they're one that really supports local art. Like they have a new artist come in every month, display their work.
Once a month, they have a group in there called Craft Brew Doodle Crew.
Oh, yeah.
It's run by our friend Aaron Scamahorn, who designs their labels, and it's just a bunch of local artists, graphic designers, hobbyists, and they come in and they decide on themes for each of the drawings, and each artist sits down with a paper and their form of however they choose to draw a design. So people are working with crayons, markers, Sharpies, ink pens, pastels, and they work on a piece for about 15 minutes, and then they get up and switch.
Oh, I love it.
And they'll do that
How fun would that
about
be?
3 or 4 times, and then they spend a day framing them up at the brewery. And then I think on Saturday they're doing another show, so you can go in and check out their art and buy it if it looks cool to
That's
you.
great.
Yeah, and Fountain Square is another one that
Oh,
supports.
yeah.
So there's so many, the link
Yeah.
between art, local art, and artists and breweries. And we even at our Tasting Society events always have a local artist because it's hard to ignore that link. So
Sure.
Right.
I mean, you guys already have the artists and stuff pieced down. You
Yeah,
just
we
need to
do.
bring the beer in.
And so the following Friday, that June 3rd from 5 to 9 p.m. is the History on Tap at Connor Prairie.
Oh, what a great way
Which
to
is-
kick off the weekend and then
which
go
is
to
always
Anderson
an
on
awesome
tap.
event to go to. They set up just beer throughout Connor Prairie. Tons of brewers there coming in and hang out. So what a great excuse to go to Connor Prairie.
Sure.
And then that following Saturday, June 4th, 1 to 5 p.m., you got Anderson on Tap. Head to the website, andersonontap.com, for tickets and information. As well as that day in downtown Indianapolis. If you can't make it to Anderson,
La 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 la.
Yeah, I know.
they've got Upland's Sour Wild and Funk Fest as well, which is always a cool festival to go to.
Yeah, not as cool.
Not as cool as Anderson on Tap. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. I hope Upland's not listening.
Sorry, just kidding.
Yeah.
Love you all.
No, it is a cool festival. If you like, it's just catered to a specific
So
style
they
of
do
beer.
sours, and lambics and that genre of beer.
Okay,
Yeah.
which is it's not that common for a brewery to bring one or two beers like that to a festival, let alone have a whole festival based around that style. So if that's your preference towards beer and you don't suffer from like horrible heartburn if you drink a lot of those like some of us do, that's definitely a festival you want to check out if you cannot make it to Anderson.
When I drink sours and stuff like that, if I drink too many of them, it feels like in my mouth I ate too many Sour Patch Kids, and like my tongue feels like they're swollen up.
Yeah, it just sounds like you better just head to Anderson.
Yeah. Anderson on Tap is you should definitely have that on your calendar for Saturday, June 4th.
Yes.
All right. Well, Sarah, I think that about wraps it up for episode 12 of the Indiana on Tap podcast presented by Bottoms Up. Right. You feel good about it?
I do feel good, but then I get sad that we have to wait another week to podcast again because I just love seeing your lovely face.
I know.
I like the beard.
Yeah, I know.
I'm all about the red beard.
Thank you. Well, red beards are the best beards.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Darla, thanks for coming and joining us today, talking to us about Anderson on Tap. We're really looking forward to June 4th, and I know you are too.
Oh, cannot wait.
All right.
Can't wait.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.
See ya.